In this video, I'll be showing you how to enter in leave requests using the Innoprise Employee Portal. Once you've logged into the Employee Portal and you've been brought to the main page, over on the left-hand side of the screen, you'll have a few different options, and we're going to go into the Leave Requests folder. You'll double-click on that, and when you come to this page, you'll just typically, if you haven't entered any leave requests before, this should be blank for you. It is important to note at the bottom that you do have an overview of all of your accruals, or in this case your time off, that you have available. So if you have, say, vacation hours that you have available or sick leave that you have available, it'll show you the balances that you've got as of the day that you're accessing the portal. It'll show you any pending requests and how many hours from all of your requests that you're planning to use. Any unapproved hours that you've requested as well. And then finally this available tab over on the right hand side of the page that will show you the difference between your balance and what you're wanting to take off. So if you got every leave request that you put in accepted, these are the balances that you would have remaining once all is said and done. But if you're wanting to enter in a new leave request, whether you're sick or you're going to be taking time off for FMLA or you're going on a vacation, you can enter in a new leave request by going to the top right hand corner of the page and clicking on this small piece of paper. If you hover over it, it will say new. Some of these, such as search or configure or refresh or print, those will just allow you to, again, configure how the page looks or search for a particular leave request if you've got quite a few entered in. Or to refresh it if some changes have been made, but you aren't seeing those changes in the form here. But you'll go ahead and click on the New button here, that little piece of paper. And once that loads, it'll bring you to a page that will allow you to enter in all the information about your leave request. So you'll typically want to put in your assignment. You'll probably only ever have one of those. If you do multiple jobs for the city, you might have several. But you'll type in the assignment, you'll type in the type of accrual that you're wanting to use. So in this case, I've got personal leave, sick leave, or vacation. Let's say that I wasn't feeling super great and I decided I was going to take the next day off, so I'd click sick leave. It'll show you your available balance prior to the request, kind of again similar to what you've got down in the balance section down here. Those should be the same. The task, and again, this will just be another way for you to enter in what kind of leave that you're going to use. So in this case, it's not vacation hours used or comp hours used, so it's going to be personal hours that I've used. And if you have any questions about these different tasks or these different codes that you'll enter in, you can always talk with your supervisor or any timekeepers that are in your department who have typically helped you with payroll or your time card questions. But you'll enter in personal hours used. You'll enter in the days that you're wanting to take off. Let's say I'm going to be getting sick tomorrow on Friday. So I'll click Friday, and then the last day will be Friday as well. So that's already entered in there. And then the number of hours used, I'll just type in probably my normal shift if I was taking the whole day off. So it'll just stay at 8. You can take a note of why you're taking the time off, so the supervisor, whoever's checking this, can see why you're wanting the day off. You say, I wasn't feeling well the day before, and I want to sleep and watch Netflix while I get over my cold. So whatever your reason is for taking the day off or the time off, you'll enter that in. And then you can just go ahead and hit the add. Oh, and you can do that if you're doing multiple days. So if there's another day that you're wanting to take off, say, you're taking tomorrow off, but then you're probably going to still be sick on Monday, or your family vacation is going to run over to Monday, you can enter in that date as well. And again, you'll just type in the notes saying, I'm really, really sick. And then once you've got everything set up and everything looks correct in the leave request, you'll go up to the same top right corner where a lot of these buttons will be found, You can save the request if you want to come back to it. Maybe you're typing it in and a meeting comes up or somebody needs something, and so you can't fill it out right then and there. You can just hit the save button and it'll save it for you. You can submit it. You can print the leave request, or you can just delete the leave request entirely. It is important to note that you should not submit the leave request until you have all of the information correct. So if you're not sure about the different tasks that you need to put in, or you're not sure that this is like a good reason for you to use a certain leave, like sick leave or vacation leave, or you're not sure if maybe FMLA is something that you would need to use, and you can ask your supervisors what that is if you have questions about that. If you have any questions at all, you're unsure about anything with the leave request, I would always just hit the save button and then come back to it later once you've talked with a supervisor or somebody in human resources. Because once you submit that, it goes to the supervisor and you can't make any changes to it. And so they'll have to go into their system, they'll have to deny the request, and then you'll have to just do the request over again. And so that can take a lot of time, and if it's time sensitive, you don't want to have to jump through all those hoops to get your leave request put in. But if you go back to your leave request and say you've saved it, you can just click on the leave request button over here, but usually it'll have little tabs open up at the top of the page if you've had anything open. But in the leave requests, you'll notice you've got the sick leave that you typed in, the assignment, when the day that you're requesting to take off, when you entered the request, as well as whether the request has been saved, like in this case it has, or if it's been submitted, it will say that it's been submitted, or if it's been approved, it will say that it's been processed or denied. So whatever the status is, you can always come in here and check those, and you will get set up so that you'll receive email notifications about any requests that you put in. So instead of having to remember to come back and check, typically the system will send you an email letting you know where your request's at in the process. But that is, in a nutshell, all of the things that you can do here in the leave requests section. If you have any additional questions, again, feel free to reach out to Human Resources or your supervisor, and they can help you further.